One of the most well-known mysterious disappearance cases in Canada in the year 2000 is the disappearance of Madison Scott. Madison Scott, often referred to as Maddie, went missing in May 2011 from a campsite near Vanderhoof, British Columbia. Although this case occurred in 2011, it remains one of the most perplexing unsolved disappearance cases in Canada's recent history. Here are some key details about Madison Scott's disappearance. Madison Scott was 20 years old when she vanished. She had attended a party with friends at Hogsback Lake, a remote campsite located about 24 kilometers south of Vanderhoof, British Columbia. She was last seen on May 28, 2011 at the campsite. Abandoned tent. Madison's tent and truck were found at the campsite, but she was nowhere to be found. Her belongings, including her purse and cell phone, were left inside the tent. Extensive search. The disappearance of Madison Scott prompted an extensive search effort involving the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, search and rescue teams, and community volunteers. Despite a massive search operation, there were no significant leads or clues. High-profile case. Scott's disappearance maintained a high profile, with billboards and posters asking for tips about her disappearance still a common sight in Vanderhoof and neighboring community, including Prince George. Her family has offered a $100,000 award for information resulting in arrests related to her disappearance, and her story has been the subject of multiple investigative media reports in Canada and internationally. Family and police said it was unusual for her not to be in touch, leading investigators to believe foul play was involved. Extensive ground, air, and water searches were carried out to no avail, and family and friends have kept the hope of her discovery alive through a Facebook page and an annual search of the area where she was last seen. The last known sighting of her was around 3 a.m. PT on May 28, 2011. She disappeared with her iPhone and the keys to her pickup truck, leaving her tent and the vehicle behind. Unsolved case. To this day, Madison Scott's disappearance remains unsolved. Despite numerous tips and possible sightings, there has been no conclusive evidence or breakthrough in this case. Mysterious circumstances. Madison's disappearance is mysterious because it occurred during a social gathering with friends at a campsite, and there is no clear explanation for her sudden disappearance. Foul play has been ruled out, but no suspects have been identified. Madison Scott's family and friends have continued to advocate for answers and justice in her case. Her disappearance remains an open investigation, and her family hope that one day they will receive the answers they have been seeking for years. In a video statement released in 2021, her mother described her as wonderful, messy, creative, loving, while a hockey teammate remembered her as a photography enthusiast. In its statement Sunday on the 12th anniversary of Scott's disappearance, the RCMP said that Scott loved to immerse herself in family, friends, and sports. This year, Madison would be 32 years old. She would likely be immersed in her career and may even have gotten married and had children. Everyone knew Madison. The mayor of Vanderhoof from 2008 to 2022 described Scott as a vibrant part of the Central BC District municipality of more than 4,346 people and said, in the beginning, everyone hoped she'd be found alive. 2 years ago, there was just such hope that Madison would be found, and she would come back and make the family whole again. Her family said they were being overwhelmed by the support they received from loved ones and various communities during the 12-year search for Scott. Support has been unwavering since day one, which we are forever grateful and truly believe that is the reason that Maddie has been found, the statement read. While nothing has been planned, the family said they are grateful for the opportunity to put Scott to rest. We trust that with patience, persistence, and belief that we will receive answers and remain motivated to achieve closure. The MP say they found the remains of Madison Scott 12 years after she went missing. Scott was last seen on May 28, 2011, while celebrating a friend's birthday at a campsite at Hogsback Lake, about 25 kilometers southeast of her hometown of Vanderhoof, BC. She was 20 at the time. Police say the identity of the remains have been confirmed by the BC Coroner's Service, and RCMP are currently executing a warrant at a rural property on the east side of Vanderhoof, around 80 kilometers west of Prince George. The area has been secured, and additional resources are anticipated to be on scene for as long as may be required, said CPL Madonna Sanderson in a statement. Scott's family was notified on Sunday, and police say they are asking for privacy. Sanderson said Scott's body was found days ago, but didn't specify exactly when it was found. Neither did Sanderson say whether the information leading to Scott's discovery came from new information provided by the public. After the remains of Madison Scott were identified this week, exactly 12 years after the BC woman went missing, her family said they are still looking for answers and closure. The Scott family released a joint statement Wednesday, 2 days after learning their loved one's body was discovered in central BC. A candlelight vigil for Madison Scott drew a crowd almost half the size of the community of 4,500. 2,000 people filled the field in Vanderhoof, BC Saturday. Scott loved hockey and baseball, and attendees were invited to wear jerseys in her honor. It's the start of the healing journey that we can come together and be there for each other, Vanderhoof mayor said. Former classmates of Scott remember her vibrant personality. Just her happiness, her whole demeanor of always smiling, always and always in a good mood, and really just such a spark, said Michael Simons. We were sharing lots of pictures and memories and talking, and it's just a different feeling. I don't really know how to put a finger on it, said Brittany. Exactly 12 years after she vanished, Scott's remains were discovered on a rural property on the southeast edge of Vanderhoof last week. RCMP investigators are at the site and conducting a search of the property through a warrant. Heavy police presence remains at the property in the 6,500 blocks of South Slope Road, with an RCMP checkpoint halfway up the driveway. Scott's parents said they never gave up hope their daughter would be found. We are sharing lots of pictures, memories, and tokens, and it's just a different feeling. I don't really know how to put a finger on it, said Brittany. Scott was last seen around 3 a.m. on May 28, 2011, at Hogsback Lake, which is southeast of Vanderhoof. She was celebrating a friend's birthday. When the 20-year-old didn't return home, her parents drove to the lake the next day and found her truck with her purse still inside, as well as a flattened tent. Our initial search efforts were around the lake and the trails, and what was significant on that first day was the lack of clues other than the truck and the tent located, said Chris at Search and Rescue. We were deeply disappointed that we didn't find her in those first few days, added Mark from Valley Search and Rescue. The rural property where Scott was found is about 18 kilometers away from Hogsback Lake. RCMP officials have said the rural property search is ongoing and will take as long as is required. Foul play had not been ruled out in Scott's death, and no charges have been laid. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.